Hello, my name is Jean Quintus and I am publishing a new fly every month on my website www.meckejang.lu. You see it there.
The fly of the month of August is the Hackle dry fly. To tie this fly we will use a Tiemco 100 or Camazan B400 in size 8 up to 12, a black medium tying thread. For the tail we will use red cock feather tips. The rear hackle will be made with a grizzly cock feather. For the body we will use small silver mylar and peacock herl, and the front hackle will be made with a brown cock feather. We will tie in the thread at the eye of the hook and wind it in close turns to the beginning of the curvature of the hook. Here we will cut off the excess of tying thread and wind the thread backwards in direction of the eye of the hook. Then we will tie in a bunch of red cock feather tips close to the eye and secure them over the whole shank to the beginning of the curvature of the hook. We'll cut the excess of cock feather tips and then tie in a grizzly cock feather at the beginning of the curvature of the hook. Then we will tie in the silver mylar wind it to the beginning of the curvature of the hook and back to the point where our thread is waiting. Here we will tie off the mylar and cut off the excess. Then we will wind the rear hackle with the grizzly cock feather over the silver mylar and tie it off at the end of the silver mylar. We'll cut off the excess of the feather Then we will flip 2 peacock herls from the rear side around our tying thread. Wind those 4 ends on top of the hook shank and secure them to the beginning of the grizzly hackle. Then we'll bring the peacock herl tips around the hook shank to our tying thread, bring the tying thread back to the hook shank, secure the peacock herls with 1 turn and wind the thread in direction of the eye of the hook. Now we will use our hackle pliers to twist those 4 strands of peacock and the 2 strands of the tying thread to a strand of peacock herl. With this peacock herl we are going to create the center pad of the body of our fly. We wind the strand to the front into direction of the waiting position of our thread. Here we will tie off the strands of peacock herl and cut off the excess of the peacock. Then we will tie in at this point the brown cock feather, wind the thread to the eye of the hook, and tie in again some small silver mylar. We are going to wind the mylar in direction of the tie-in point of the cock feather, and then back to the eye of the hook. Tie it off at the eye of the hook and cut off the excess of mylar. Then we will wind the front hackle with the brown cock feather, When we arrive at the eye of the hook, we will tie off the cock feather and cut off the excess of feather, or you tear it off. Then we move again our silicone ring over that hackle and wind the head of the fly. We whip finish the head and we do not forget to move the silicone ring back to our bobbin holder before cutting the thread. To finish the fly, we apply a drop of blackhead cement to the head of the fly.
You can download the detailed tying instructions for this fly and for all the previous ones on my website www.meckejang.lu. Leave a message in the guest book with your email address and I will send you a mail every time a new fly is published. See you in tight lines.